Well, it's a bad time to poison Americans. President Trump announcing that 3 narco-terrorists were killed during a second U.S. military strike on a Venezuelan-based drug trafficking boat operating in international waters. 47 putting the cartels on notice.
Stop sending Tren de Aragua into the United States. Stop sending drugs into the United States. We knocked off actually 3 boats, not 2, but you saw 2. And the problem is there are very few boats out in the water. There are not a lot of boats out in the water. I can't imagine why. Not even fishing boats. There's nobody. Nobody wants to go take a fish. So it's one of those things.
So, Jesse, cartels don't even want to fish right now. They're so scared.
So in the 70s and 80s, the CIA had a very clandestine program where they would go up in airplanes and shoot suspected drug planes out of the sky in Latin America. And they had a rigorous checklist that was drawn up by national security lawyers. You had to buzz the plane, you had to try to make contact, you had to go through all these things before you shot it out of the sky. And the CIA pilots followed it at first, and then they just stopped following it, and they just shot these things out of the sky until plane went down, and one of the guys goes to his co-pilot, the worst possible thing has just happened. We just shot down a plane full of nuns. Oh. And so there was huge fallout in Washington. Everybody held hearings. There was investigations. Some of the CIA agents almost got brought up in charges, but it didn't happen that way. Yeah. Now, fast forward to today. The rules of engagement have changed. Donald Trump is super transparent. It's not in the shadows anymore. The Department of Defense is knocking these guys out of the water this time. I'm sure they have the same rigorous checklists, and I'm sure Pistol Pete Hegseth, Department of War, is following them to the T. But it shows everybody, especially the narcos, that we're not playing games anymore, and it's scaring them. And that's why there's not a lot of traffic out in the Caribbean anymore. And the American people who have seen a lot of their brothers and sisters pass away from overdoses are very refreshed and invigorated by the war on drugs. And for the first time, we're now going on offense for a change.
Yeah, everyone I know from Middle America is loving all of this. Greg, this is certainly a different way to say don't.
Yeah, there are big bags of cocaine in the ocean floating around. I can only hope Hunter doesn't take up boating. But again, adults are in charge. These people that are being taken out are not good people. Again, everything Trump does is within a very clear frame. We go after the bad guys, not people we disagree with. None of this is driven by emotion or ideology, just laws and facts. They're drug traffickers. We have to get rid of them because they're killing Americans. They're being hunted, not our political adversaries, actual drug traffickers. You know, these are the people that Democrats would never call deplorable, but God forbid you dead name a trans. So I think we are easy to figure out. You know, we are open about our love for law and order. We don't have to pretend that we're something else. We don't have to virtue signal and say, oh, we don't have to like dress ourselves in empathy or compassion. This is what we do. There's no rationalizing. We're telling you what it is.
Kennedy?
I don't like it. I don't like it because of the nuns. Because all it takes is one fishing boat with a broken radio or people who don't speak English, and you're killing innocent civilians, and I do not like that. The war on drugs failed the first time around. Things can go very badly here. We have not properly addressed demand in this country. That has not gone away. That is one of the reasons that the cartels proliferated during and after the war on drugs. So we do have to address demand in this country. We do have to address why do people, especially kids in this country, want to put things in their body they know can kill them. It is terrifying. And instead, we're doing it wrong because we're giving people heroin to shoot up instead of taking people who need the most mental health treatment and who need the most drug treatment and getting them into facilities which can extend their lives and make them better. So, I do agree with Rand Paul here that if there are people we want to go after, instead of just killing them without any due process, put them on trial. And, if they get tried in a state where they do have the death penalty, then let due process play out.
Paul?
All right, real quick, I would say a couple of things. First of all, these aren't overdoses that we are losing 100,000 Americans to every year. They're poisonings, all right? Because very few people are actually taking fentanyl. They're taking other stuff that's been cut with fentanyl to make it more powerful. Secondly, real quick, where's Congress? Because while we have the debate, and it's going to happen legalistically, you're right, about whether or not we can do that, which is use the Department of War to just essentially eliminate these guys, Congress can pass an AUMF, just like after 9/11, and authorize the use of military force against these guys now that they're designated. I expected that's where it was going to go. We have Congress. Why aren't we doing it? Last, real quick, this is the Trump doctrine. This is an attenuation, a continuation of the Monroe Doctrine I've talked about before. The big dog is Cuba. He wants to flip Venezuela, he wants to flip Cuba, and he wants China out of Latin America. He's the first guy to stand up to that.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.